ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Wednesday, February 25th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line is open, brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. Coming up today on the program, it is Wednesday, so we get to talk to someone different at Marshall University every week. And today it's Matt Lewis, Director in Marketing. Fan engagement. He is going to talk to us about, of course, we've got basketball coming up on Friday, big event for the Thundering Herd. We got baseball as well, start of the home schedule. All of that's coming up, so Matt's going to tell us more about that. Again, the Director, Marketing and Fan Engagement at Marshall University, Matt Lewis, joins us in the next few minutes. How about that game yesterday? That's a transition for you. Marshall getting the win over Old Dominion. No defense being played. Absolutely not. Marshall 97, Old Dominion 88. I mean, I'll take 97 points every single day of the week, but 88 points to Old Dominion, wow. Back and forth. It went. There were some runs. I mean, I was never in any concern mode. I wasn't worried that Marshall would at any point fall behind, not be able to win this game. So I felt good about it as it was going on. So Marshall right now tied on the standings, could win a share of the conference title with a win. That's it. That's all you need to know. Tiebreakers, all of that stuff comes after the fact, but the good news is if Marshall wins on Friday, it will have a share of the Sun Belt Conference regular season championship. So it'll be a champion. There might be 3 teams. There's a potential for 7 teams, believe it or not. We were talking to Tyler Kennett over HD Media yesterday. He loves analytics, stats. He gets into all of that, and he was sitting there trying to break it all down while we were on the air with the postgame yesterday. And we came up with, and again, most of this is Tyler doing all the legwork, so I appreciate him. If it's a 3-way tie between, and right now it's a 3-way tie, if it stays that way, if it's Troy and Marshall and App State, then Marshall's going to be the number 1 seed as far as he was able to determine. If Marshall and App State are tied, it's going to be Marshall as the number 1 seed. If it's just Marshall and Troy tied, Marshall will, again, get a share of the regular season championship. It'll be a co-champion with Troy, but the head-to-head would give Troy the number 1 seed and then give the Herd the number 2 seed. And there are so many more scenarios to play out. And we've got games tonight as well, so that's going to determine a lot of what we're going to see over the next couple of days. I'm hoping that we get a definitive tiebreaker from the league after everything is settled tonight as far as the league games are concerned. And, of course, the one we're going to keep an eye on, I think, the most is going to be South Alabama. UL Monroe. We know UL Monroe is destined to be the 14 seed. It's 1-15 in Sun Belt play. We know that. What we don't know is, could UL Monroe pull a miracle upset against South Alabama? South Alabama is 20-9. Good season. 10-6 in the Sun Belt. And again, this is a team you got to watch out for. So South Alabama, 10-6. It could be 10-7 after tonight. What's the one thing, though, that you have over South Alabama is a head-to-head. So, again, I feel good. Whatever the scenario might be, I feel good for the most part. And then Georgia Southern taking on James Madison. So, Georgia Southern, James Madison, that game in Harrisonburg tonight. And then after that, it's down to Huntington. And let's take on the Herd, and that will be your Friday game on national television. We will be there. It's going to be a late night for all of us. We got baseball that day as well. And then we're going to be at the Henderson Center. There won't be a show on Friday. It'll just be our pregame and postgame and, of course, the game broadcast because we're going to have baseball that day. And then a lot of us are going to head over to the Henderson Center and set up. We'll get the women's game as well. I mean, we're not going to broadcast the women's game. Let me clarify that. But we've got the women's game to talk about. That'll be an important contest for Julie Folks and her squad. And so some important things that are going to be happening over the next couple of days. But I feel good about how the Herd got it done yesterday. And we'll break that down with you a little bit later. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So go ahead and get your text in now. And I've got tickets for the game on Friday. So let me make it a little bit sweeter for you. If you are maybe hesitant to chime in today or give me your thoughts, if you're just not so sure, let me sweeten the pot. I've got a pair of tickets. You don't have tickets for the game on Friday? This is perfect for you. And again, that text line brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And we had some interesting comments yesterday. There was one really when we were talking about the postgame. I didn't think it fit at the time, but I had someone text me and just ask, where's Marco? And I didn't have a chance to really get to that yesterday. And the postgame was a little different vibe other than where's Marco? I don't know where Marco's at. Maybe Marco Marco hasn't been around for a while, so maybe, just maybe, we don't need to see Marco because I don't want to throw the vibe off here. Maybe we just need to keep Marco away for a while. He's doing other things. Maybe he's making other things happen. And so he's working behind the scenes. I'm just going to say that right now. He's working behind the scenes. We're not worried about where Marco's at right now, just because the Herd's winning, one game away from winning a share of the Sun Belt regular season championship, and that's awesome. Second year, Coach Jackson getting a conference championship. That's a dream probably for him come true if it happens, because he's someone who has lived Marshall since he got to Huntington and became a player at Marshall University, and then got the opportunity to come back and coach at Marshall University. So he's someone, and he's not looking to go elsewhere. He's not one of those coaches where if he has a lot of success at Marshall, he's going to try to cash that in, go somewhere else. Now, if a great life-altering job comes open and coach gets the call, I would never hold that against him. But I'm also not forwarding that rumor out there. No, I'm not even. I don't want to make that feel like I'm saying he'd do it. But you got to look at that. If something comes open and you get a phone call, hey, would you be interested? I'm pretty sure he would say no. But if the numbers were really good, I would tell him, hey, coach, you got to look at that. But I don't think he would do it. So let's just throw that thought away completely. All right, let's get your text in. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's our text line to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Coming up on the other side of the break, Matt Lewis is going to join us. And again, he is the Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement, Marshall University. We've got basketball to talk about, and we've got baseball to talk about. So he'll join us on the other side of the break here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Save big money on your rough electrical project at Menards. Zero Wire is an American-owned leading manufacturer of electrical building wire for residential, commercial, and industrial applications. Menards stocks convenient, pre-cut lengths of wiring products for both indoor and outdoor projects. Save big on electrical wire and cable products at Menards. Also, visit Menards.com to view our weekly flyer and check out all of the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home. home.
Hey, it's Tony Caridi, your captain on this funky flight through time.
And I'm Brad Howe, Tony's co-pilot, mostly here to keep him from dancing into a display again.
That was one time, Brad, and it was during Gomart's Vinyl Value Day, so I was motivated.
Can't blame you. These deals are straight out of 1975. Gomart picks a product, drops the price way down, and boom, retro throwback pricing.
But listen close, just like my rhythm, quantities limited. Watch for Vinyl Value Days all year long, and when they drop, grab them fast.
Check the Gomart app to see when the next Vinyl Value Day hits.
Stay funky, cool cats.
Kindred Communications is proud to welcome WSAZ to our family of stations. When you listen to your favorite Kindred station, you'll hear the trusted voices from WSAZ you know, with the WSAZ First Alert, forecast, and the latest news. WSAZ and Kindred Communications, working together for the tri-state.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talkline, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
We continue with this Wednesday edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Thundering Herd get a big win over Old Dominion, 97-88. That's going to set up a tremendous Friday for basketball. Of course, we've got baseball as well. There's so many things that are happening, and to help us keep track of everything, we welcome back to the program Matt Lewis, Director, Marketing, Fan Engagement, Marshall University. Matt, this is going to be a busy weekend for you, and it's not even a weekend on Saturday. It's Friday that gets everything kicked off. I know you got to be excited, but how are you managing all the logistics there? Tell me what's going on here.
Yeah, for sure. Incredibly busy weekend for the Herd this weekend, especially Friday, like you mentioned. A good old triple header. Opening home baseball game at Jack Cook Field, and then a double header at the CAM, the last two chances to see men's and women's basketball at home this season. So a lot going on. We're running all over the place this week, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Let's talk baseball first. Of course, that gets underway earlier in the day. Is there anything that's going to change as far as logistics, parking setup? What's going to happen for Herd fans that maybe want to try to take in as much of the day and the evening as possible?
Yeah, there actually is one big change at the Jack this year, and that's going to be regarding entrance gates. In the past, there's been two. Obviously, there's been the first base gate over by the softball building, and then there's been the main gate behind home plate, kind of up the hill. There's a big sidewalk that goes up the hill to the home plate gate. That gate is actually going to be closed this year, and the main primary entrance to get into the stadium is going to be the first base gate. So not anything crazy, but something good for fans to know as they arrive this weekend.
Anything else they should know? I mean, policy's pretty much the same, clear bag, everything's still in place for entry into the baseball park.
Yeah, everything should be status quo, the same as it's been the past 2 years.
So the game gets underway. Of course, parking still at the football stadium if need be. Is that still going on? Yeah, for sure. That would be the best, the space with the most available parking, I should say. Okay.
The west lot at the Joan.
So then we've got basketball, and I know there might be a little overlap, not much, but still an opportunity for you maybe to catch some baseball, maybe head over to the Henderson Center, catch the women's game, and then, of course, the men's game. How's that going to work with the double header? Is it going to be you get in for the women's game, you can stay for the men's game, or is it going to be cleared again? We've seen that in the past. Clear the arena, let some cleanup happen, and then you can re-enter the arena later on for the men's game. How is that going to work for this double header?
Yeah, so what we're telling people to do is get your men's ticket and then come early. So if you buy your men's basketball ticket, show up at 6 o'clock for the women's game. That'll get you into the women's game as well, and then you're already set. You can stay in the arena for the men's game. You don't have to leave, and you'll be all good.
What if you already have a women's ticket? And usually, I'm sure most people have the same tickets. If you have men's, you might have women's. But for those who just have the women's ticket, what is the process for them, or what are you suggesting?
For the people that have women's tickets and not men's, that's where it gets a little cloudy because, you don't know if your seat is going to be taken from one game to the next. I would encourage people to, if they have the women's tickets, to go ahead and get a men's ticket just to be safe, to make sure that they're going to have a spot for that second game.
Okay, so if you've got a men's ticket, you come in and you can sit in an open seat. Come early, you can sit in an open seat. If you've got a women's ticket, of course, your seat for the women's game will be secure. And then if you want to secure a seat for the men's game, make sure that you get one before game time. Or, of course, the ticket window is going to be open as well, right? So there's going to be plenty of opportunity points of purchase for Herd fans that are maybe running behind or want to get their tickets at the game.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have our ticket booth open in the Cam Henderson Center, right inside the main entrance there on 3rd Ave. It'll be open probably at least an hour before the women's game, so 5 o'clock. So, yeah, plenty of chances for people to grab their tickets.
All right, this is going to be an exciting night. Man, the women, of course, are already locked in for the tournament as every team, but we're playing for seeding at this point, and then the men pretty much playing for seeding as well, but a victory for the men, and you're going to be at least a co-champion in the Sun Belt, and depending on what the bracket looks like with all of the tiebreakers and everything else that the league will have to figure out, we could be talking about the number 1 seeded Thundering Herd team, number 2. We hope it's number 1, but of course, the big thing here is win, and you're going to be the conference champion, or at least a co-conference champion. After that tournament time in Pensacola, what do we need to know maybe for the men's game Friday night and then onward to the tournament?
Yeah, like you said, a really unique opportunity for the men's team on Friday at home to clinch a regular season championship. And as you said, there's a lot of scenarios. The top of the standings for the Sun Belt it's a bit jumbled. There's about a 4-team race for first place, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on some of the other games around the league. But good news is, if the Herd wins, they're going to be at least co-champions. And depending on how those other games play out, they could clinch the number 1 seed as well. Obviously, the top 2 seeds get a bye in the tournament to the semifinals, which is huge. So that's what we're hoping for on Friday.
Matt Lewis is joining us. The Thundering Herd, busy day on Friday. Baseball on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. And then, of course, the men's and women's basketball teams are playing doubleheader on Friday. Should be a fun day. Hopefully a lot of people can take off early, get to the baseball game. After we get past Friday and maybe you get a couple of hours sleep, what do we got in store for the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, we have 2 more baseball games at home, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, the weather is looking incredible. I don't know if you've looked at it, but expecting a big crowd and a great day at Jack Cook Field on Saturday. Obviously this weekend is your first chance to get to see Coach Beals and the team in person at home. They started their season the past 2 weeks on the road, so we're happy to have them at home. We're happy to get things underway here. We've got a good amount of new promotions and things like that going on all throughout the season, so really excited to get back at the Jack and see all the fans come out.
Just looking ahead, once we get baseball underway, softball is next. Eventually, you'll have an opportunity to go see baseball and softball. What do fans need to know if they haven't been thinking about softball just yet, or they've been a little behind? What's coming up for softball that maybe they should be excited about? Tickets, any opportunities there?
Yeah, so softball's home opening series is going to be next weekend. Not this upcoming, but the next week. They're actually having a tournament with a lot of teams coming, so there's going to be a lot of softball games being played at Dot Hicks Field Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Softball games are not ticketed, so you don't have to worry about buying any tickets for those games. All entry is free. Still clear bag and similar entry rules that we have at our other facilities, but it is not ticketed. So come on out, bring your friends. It's going to be a fun weekend. We also have home baseball that weekend as well. So it'll be a good opportunity for people to maybe stop by both. Obviously, the stadiums are side by side, right next to each other. So, come early, hop over to a softball game after Marshall plays, and then just walk, 20 feet over to Jack Cook Field and watch the Herd play some baseball.
Matt Lewis is joining us for a busy weekend, Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement at Marshall University. I know we want to focus on baseball and basketball for the most part, and of course softball is coming back. We've got some soccer matches that are going to be happening soon as well. What do you want to put on people's radar to get ready as we get closer to March and the calendar starts to expand again?
Yeah, it's almost spring soccer time. Speaking of next weekend, along with our softball home opening tournament, the baseball team being back at home, we've also got 2 spring exhibition games at the Vet. We've got men's soccer playing against Rio Grande Friday night at 7:15, and then women's soccer play on Saturday. And then just looking ahead a little bit, men's soccer is going to be competing again in the College Spring League, which is a spring league that they've competed in for the past couple of years. They won it last year. They were the Spring League champions last year, so looking to try to win it again, defend their crown. They're going to have 2 home games in the College Spring League, one against Dayton, one against Louisville, and then they go on the road to play Michigan State. And then obviously, like the past few years, the championship game for the Spring League will be in Columbus. So hopefully we make it all the way to Columbus again.
Matt Lewis with us, Director of Marketing Fan Engagement, Marshall University. So keep that on your radar. Of course, the best place to go, start at herdzone.com for all the details. And I want to swing back to baseball just for a minute before we let you go. There's some opportunities there. Season tickets are on sale right now. You've got the 10-game mini plan that's happening, single-game tickets as well if you can't commit to a season ticket package or the mini plan. What do fans need to know? What are you excited about? Because we've got plenty of options, it looks like, for Herd fans, as well as there's a flash sale. There was a flash sale. So anything coming up again for the game on Friday that maybe, or just get your ticket, show up. There are going to be a lot of events and promotions going on.
Yeah, you said it. Like you said, season tickets on sale. They're starting as low as $125 for season tickets. You mentioned the 10-game mini plan that we just put out, as well as single-game tickets being on sale. I think one of the big things that fans are going to notice and can be excited for is our new 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 promo. Basically, through innings 1 through 5, there's going to be new, fun promos happening every game during those innings. The first inning is just, you're going to want to come by the marketing table. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to do our series giveaway. If you want to make sure you grab one, then you need to come during the first inning before we run out. This weekend, we're giving away our 2026 jersey magnets. They're really cool little magnets, so make sure you come to the marketing table and grab them. During the second inning is our Marco's Pizza strikeout promotion. If a Herd pitcher records a strikeout in the second inning, then fans in attendance are going to get the chance to win a free Marco's Pizza. In the third inning, we have a Thundering Beverage and Buddy's Barbecue beer special. So all throughout the third inning, fans can enjoy $3 Thundering Beverage beers and $3 Buddy's Barbecue concession items. In the fourth inning, we have Wendy's Frosty Flyout promotion. So if a visiting batter records a flyout in the top of the fourth, then everyone's going to get a chance to win a free Frosty from Wendy's. And then in the fifth inning, we're going to have our foul pole race, sponsored by Kel's Tavern, where if you've been to a baseball game, you might remember that promotion where some kids are going to get the chance to race on the field from the left field foul pole to the right field foul pole. And we also have a little new race that you're going to see at some select games throughout the spring, where we're actually going to have a flash race where the Flash is going to race a lucky fan from foul pole to foul pole. So excited for that. Excited for all of those promotions in innings 1 through 5.
Okay, the Flash, the superhero, the Flash.
The real deal Flash superhero.
Okay.
Yes.
How'd you get the Flash? I mean, He's busy fighting crime, right? I mean, he's taking some time out of his schedule fighting crime to race kids. I mean, that doesn't seem fair. You're racing the Flash.
Yeah, we might have to give the contestant a head start. I think we might have to start him halfway in between the foul poles and see if the Flash can catch up to him.
I like it. I like it, the Flash, because that some kid is going to love that. That's going to be fun to see the faces and the smiles there. Matt Lewis is with us, Director of Marketing Fan Engagement. Who would win a race between you, Emily Suter, and Ryan Crisp? Who would win that race?
Oh, definitely me.
You? Okay.
Definitely me.
All right, you would take the crown. You versus the Flash. Who's going to win that?
Maybe Maybe me and Ryan and Emily can do a foul pole race one day. We'll test it out.
I like it. That people would pay money to see that. You think? I think so. People would pay money. Absolutely.
Maybe we can see if we can get a sponsor for it. We'll sell it.
I like it. Matt Lewis with us, Director of Marketing Fan Engagement. Man, get some rest. You got a busy weekend ahead. You got a busy calendar ahead, but it's all going to be fun. We're going to be up late watching the Herd hopefully win at least a share of the conference championship regular season on Friday. And I know there won't be confetti dropping or anything like that, but if you've got time, maybe think about it.
Oh yeah, if everything goes to plan Friday, we'll be celebrating. That's for sure.
Okay, confetti cannons maybe.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm just putting bugs in your.
We got some stuff. We got some stuff lined up.
Okay. Oh, cryptic. There's stuff lined up if the Herd wins. No, not when the Herd wins. We'll keep it.
Win. Yeah, that's right.
We'll keep it positive. I'm not going to lie to you, Matt. I think I know some of it, but I'll keep it quiet.
We'll see you on Friday.
We'll find out. We're going to find out if I'm right on Friday. Matt Lewis with us, the Director of Marketing and Fan Engagement at Marshall University. Matt, always fun to talk to you. It's great to catch up again, and we'll do it again real soon.
All right. Thanks for having me on. I'll see you Friday.
We'll see Matt Friday, and we'll see you Friday as well at the Henderson Center. Our text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Jeff Smith, 304-781-1234. And in Wayne, Vicky Tabor, 304-272-5149.
Cold weather's on its way, and what do you want on those cold, chilly evenings? A warm blanket and a hot cup of cocoa. Well, you know who else wants the same comfort? Mice. Messy, uninvited guests. They sneak in and leave droppings, chew through your food and packages. Don't let mice take over your home this fall and winter. Call K&B Pest Control. We will kill for your business. Call today, 304-523-4281.
How tough are you? Miller Lite, Coors Light, Modelo, 84 Lumber, Dutch Miller Auto Group, Huntington Drum, Wilson Welding, Fitness World, Pritchard Lawn Care, and Pam's present the 38th Annual Tough Man Contest, coming March 6th and 7th to the Cam Henderson Center at Marshall University. Fighters and ring girls sign up at WVToughman.com. Buy tickets at the Marshall box office or at WVToughman.com. Tough it out.
Tax season just got a lot more exciting at Hometown Chevrolet, your tax refund headquarters. Right now at Hometown Chevrolet, your tax refund can put you behind the wheel of a reliable car, truck, or SUV that you'll love. And with the Hometown Advantage, you'll get free oil changes for life on qualified vehicles and a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on qualified pre-owned vehicles. That's confidence, that's value, and that's peace of mind. Drive home happy at Hometown Chevrolet, your tax refund headquarters. Hurry in today or shop online at yourhometownchevy.com.
The Marshall Sports Medicine Institute, the exclusive provider of sports medicine services to Marshall University Athletics, is pleased to offer walk-in clinics 6 days a week. Full-service appointments are available on a walk-in basis weekdays from 9 until 3, and a screening clinic is conducted Saturday mornings 8 to 10. No appointment necessary. For more information, call 304-691-1880. The Marshall Sports Medicine Institute, taking care of the herd, taking care of you.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is you over 30 years ago.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And this is your mom when you drive her back from therapy.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Roles change without us noticing, and in your new role, we help you help. AARP gives you the information to help care for your mom so that you can have patience with her, just like she did with you. Visit aarp.org/caregiving or call 1-877-333-5885 to get practical health and wellness tips to provide even better care for your loved one.
Are we there yet?
Remember, visit aarp.org/caregiving. AARP, we help you help. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
We continue on with your Wednesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Text line is open. Brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. First up, texter says, hey, Paul, I don't really have a hot button to make a comment on, but would just love to win 2 tickets for the game on Friday. Absolutely. I'm good with that. That's your topic today, winning tickets. Appreciate the text. Thanks for listening today. Also from the text line, if both our women and men's teams win on Friday, I think we have a great chance for both to win the Sun Belt Conference tournament. Can't wait till the doubleheader this Friday. Also, what does the seeding look like for the women's team in the tournament? Go Herd. Oh, that's crazy because it's a little bit more clear, I think, as far as the men's side is concerned. To be honest with you, I think at best it's going to be a top 4 finish for the women. They've got one game this week, so we're almost set when it comes to the standings. But if you look at where the Herd is right now, Marshall with one game to go is 13-4. So what you're trying to do is stay out of the 5 spot. Troy's 15-2. Georgia Southern is 14-2. So Marshall's 2 games back, 1 to go. So we're looking at a 3. We're looking at a 4. We're looking possibly at a 5. And if anything is certain is that if you win, you're going to be a 3 or 4. Marshall and Arkansas State. Those are the 2 battling for the 3 and 4 spot right now. Arkansas State has Texas State. James Madison's 2.5 back right now. And it's taking on Old Dominion right now. And then Coastal will be on Friday. If anything, you would hope that with being 2 games back, if James Madison finishes 14-4, Arkansas State finishes 14-4, and the Thundering Herd finishing 14-4. What happens here is Marshall, the losses in league come to James Madison. Also lost to Old Dominion. But you're also split with James Madison. Keep that in mind. So you've got a win against James Madison and a loss against James Madison. You've got a loss against Old Dominion. You have a loss against Troy. You have a loss against Georgia Southern. But you do have a win against Arkansas State. So that's going to play into what happens here next. So I would gather if Marshall finishes 14-4, Arkansas State finishes 14-4, and James Madison, which is 2.5 back, finishes 14-4. I'm almost certain that Marshall would be no worse than 4th in the standings, and that's just doing the rough math right now. I'm trying to figure what's going to happen, what's going to come into play here. But the Marshall-Arkansas State game is going to play into this. 1 and 2 are out. So Marshall more than likely would play Saturday if it wins Sunday, if it wins championship on Monday. Marshall, if it wins on Friday, more than likely is playing Sunday and Monday because it would be a 1 or a 2. If Marshall wins, I believe it could be a 1 or a 2. Worst case, it's playing Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's the scenario for me right now. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, in that range. Marshall men, more than likely Sunday, Monday if it wins. The Marshall women, if the women win, will be in that Saturday slot. Because 1 and 2 only have to play 2 games, and then 3 and 4 have to play 3 games to get to the championship. It's an interesting bracket. You get a little extra rest, but then you have rust. What's real? Is it the rest helps you, or you're not out there really playing, and so you get a little rusty? The team that you might be going up against is really loose. It's got a few extra games. I mean, the Marshall women started off on a 4-game run in the tournament last year. A tremendous run. Could have gone further, but the team ran out of gas. Now, if you're starting on Saturday, you should be good. You're starting on Sunday, you should be good. I mean, 2 games to get a championship. Saturday's 3 games to get a championship. I like the Herd's odds on the women's side. And the men, as crazy as this league's been, I feel good about it as well. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Throw all of that out if anything changes tonight and then on Friday. Throw all of that out. We've got more of your texts. We're going to get to those when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Baum Lumber, your place for quality roof trusses, building materials, hot spring spas, lawn equipment, and more. See baumlumber.com. Jerk Riley's with 2 great locations, Greenup Avenue in Ashland and Pullman Square in Huntington. Eat, drink, play games, and be merry. It's always a party at Jerk's. Kindred Communications is proud to welcome WSAZ to our family of stations. When you listen to your favorite Kindred station, you'll hear the trusted voices from WSAZ you know, with the WSAZ First Alert forecast and the latest news. WSAZ and Kindred Communications, working together for the Tri-State.
How tough are you? Miller Lite, Coors Light, Modelo, 84 Lumber, Dutch Miller Auto Group, Huntington Drum, Wilson Welding, Fitness World, Pritchard Lawn Care, and Pam's present the 38th Annual Tough Man Contest, coming March 6th and 7th to the Cam Henderson Center at Marshall University. Fighters and ring girls sign up at WVToughman.com. Buy tickets at the Marshall box office or at WVToughman.com. Tough it out.
My dad came to live with us last month, and it's going pretty well. I feel like I never have time for myself. With him being around more, it really lets us catch up on things. His memory isn't what it used to be. We get up and we have coffee. He usually wakes up at 4:30. Then we go for a walk. He needs lots of my attention. I do need to keep an eye on his medications, though. That's important. Sometimes I feel like a pharmacist. I'd say John and the kids are adjusting pretty well. They honestly have no idea what I'm going through. It can be a little challenging. Help. But so far, so good. I could really use just a little help.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers for advice, tips, and support. Together, let's help each other better care for ourselves and the ones we love. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Follow at Paul Swann on X for Marshall sports updates and more.
Text line rest of the way, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I'm Paul Swann. Welcome back. It's The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We've got big basketball coming up on Friday, the Marshall men, the Marshall women. It's going to be a fun Friday night in Huntington. And then it's off to Pensacola. That's where our next text takes us. Texter says, Paul, how are the host sites for the basketball tournament determined? Pensacola is convenient to only 3 or 4 Sunbelt schools. Seems a more central location, perhaps Nashville, would boost ticket sales, as a shorter trip would be a more realistic option for fans. Well, the bad news is that the tournament is going to be in Pensacola through 2030. It's a 5-year extension. There was an initial 5-year agreement, and now it's going to stay through 2030. I don't know if there's going to be an open bidding process in a few years or a renewal. I'm not against Pensacola. It's more of a destination. It's hard to plan, though. It's like the way this tournament is set up, it's hard to plan, because unless I'm taking an entire week off. I'm just going to take a week of vacation. I'm going to go watch basketball. And it depends also probably how good your team is right now. If you're ULM, how many fans are really going to travel to Pensacola to watch ULM potentially lose on the first day? And since this tournament format takes every team, you're in Pensacola, You don't know how long your team's going to be there. So if you're starting early, you're going to be there a while. If you're Marshall, you could be there a couple of days. You can take Monday off, maybe Tuesday for a travel day. You go down on Saturday night, maybe catch the game on Sunday if Marshall's playing in the 1 or 2 seed. And if the Herd survives, they're playing on Monday. Then if Marshall wins or loses, you come back on Tuesday. So more of these things, though, are television events. Conference tournament, unless it's one of the major tournaments, like the Big East tournament was a big deal at Madison Square Garden when the Big East was the Big East. It still is, but it was a big event, and you planned your probably your vacation around it if you're a big college basketball fan. There's so much going on right now. The tournaments, I think, are just more or less television events. They're in nice locations that can accommodate the influx of teams for several days. I don't know if a tournament location change would grow the tournament. I don't know how many people would go to Nashville. Is Nashville available? What's the expense there to host a tournament compared to Pensacola? So, unfortunately, if you're into going to basketball tournaments, I think it's going to be a little bit more of an expense, obviously, because it's in Pensacola. Also from the text line, texter says, women, I think we have the leading scorer in, I'm thinking you're saying Sun Belt Conference instead of SNC. I think that's a typo. Check it out. Also from the text line, is this a me question? Okay. I'll read the first part first. Actually, I'll read the second part first. Who is the MVP of the regular season for both men's and women's teams, in your opinion? That's a good question. Can I think on that one? I mean, for the men, I want to say Jalen. I want to say Wyatt. I think I want to say Jalen or Wyatt. Let me debate that one. Let Friday, you know what? Let the last game help me determine that, okay? I'm going to put that into the I'm not ready to commit just yet pile. Also, text reads, if both of our women's and men's teams win on Friday, I think we have a great chance to okay, yeah, I've already seen that one. Okay, just want to make sure. That one came in a little earlier. All right, let's go back to the text line. We got a fresh one here. If you have not been to Pensacola, you should go. Great place, warm, and lots to do. I was at the women's championship. That's an endorsement right there. Appreciate the text. Yeah, if you've got the ability to go, I couldn't do that. I couldn't pull that off. If even with this job, I can't pull that off. Some people can. It's so hard these days. But if you can pull that off, you can make that trip. I mean, you don't have to do it every year, but you should go. Make that trip. Go root the Herd on. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fans from different parts of the country, a lot of groups that are going to say, hey, we're close by. We're going to make that trip. We're going to go see the Herd. This is our opportunity to go see Marshall play. I think you've got fans like that all over that would make that trip. And I'm not going to lie to you. The more affluent Marshall fans will make that trip. If you've got the ability to spend the money and you've got the ability to control your schedule, you can take off or you can leave some work behind for a few days. If you've got that ability to do that, I think you're going to see a good group of Herd fans make that trip. And if it's something that you can't do, maybe you plan. And again, if Marshall's having a great year and you plan to go, that's going to be a fun one for you. If Marshall's not having a good year and you're planning on trying to go, Marshall gets eliminated early. I get it why you'd like to have it somewhere a little bit more central. So on a whim, you can go, hey, Marshall's in the championship game. Let's go. Let's make that trip. Let's get tickets. Let's drive down. Let's make the late night run. Marshall's in a championship game. But Pensacola, it's a destination. I mean, there are a lot of fans that will, on the road trip, when Marshall has to play Coastal Carolina, there are a lot of Herd fans that will block that time out and then make that road trip with the Herd. Because, of course, it's Coastal Carolina. It's the beach. It's sort of like a home away from home for Thundering Herd fans. I would like to see it closer. But what really, maybe outside of Nashville, what's close? What could be a little bit more practical? And, of course, you like to see it maybe in the Sun Belt footprint as well. What venue in the map would make sense? Would you try to keep it in one of the home states? And then where would you take it? I mean, Florida makes a little sense because, again, it's not there's not a Sun Belt school there, but you don't want to have it. You don't want to have it. Do you want to have it in Virginia? Probably not. Do you want to have it in South Carolina, North Carolina? Probably not. You definitely don't want to have it in Texas. So Kentucky doesn't have a Sun. And again, the argument's not valid because Florida doesn't have a Sun Belt team, but Kentucky probably not. High school tournaments going on there. Tennessee might make a little bit more sense. So Nashville, but again, Nashville's a little occupied right now, right? So how do you work around that? 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. And again, the SEC tournament's March 13th to 17th. I was looking that up as I was trying to figure out another venue to offer up. But the tournament's the 13th to 17th. Sunbelt tournament could get away with it. You could be like the warm-up act. But again, you also got to keep in mind, in Nashville, they're blocking out time for the tournament. Can you block out that much time? Because you get the Nashville Predators as well. So you've got a lot going on at Bridgestone. So I don't think you could necessarily get the Sunbelt tournament in Nashville because you're going up against a lot of other things. And as it is, you're blocking out the time for the SEC tournament. You've got the Preds there, and NHL season's about ready to ramp up starting tonight. So I would think that Pensacola probably is where it's going to be for at least through 2030, but maybe in the future as well. 304-396-TALK is our text line, 304-396-8255. All right, we're going to draw here in about a moment. We're going to make one of you a winner. But if you don't win today, come back tomorrow. We're going to give you another shot at those tickets. I've got another pair stashed away. We'll give you a chance to win those tomorrow. Thanks for being a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I want to say thanks to Matt Lewis, Director of Marketing, Fan Engagement at Marshall University, for catching up with us. Big weekend ahead starting on Friday for the Thundering Herd. Hopefully you can be there as well to either the baseball game, the women's basketball game, the men's game, all three or two of the three. Whatever the case may be, hope to see you soon. I'll be back with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Here's one before we go. Text line is still open. Columbus, Ohio for the tournament. That's actually interesting. That's an interesting thought. We'll discuss it more tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.